Howdy fellas, and welcome back to Das Customs. So today we're going back to something that I've tried a few times on this channel. You've seen me build multiple of these and had some success, some failures. It's kind of been a bit touch and go, which is of course the turbo V-dub air-cooled engine. The first time I had a go at it, it literally cost me nothing except a cheap eBay carb. And you know, that one didn't work at all. I couldn't generate boost. That was because the turbo was actually too big. Second attempt, what did it cost me? I think it was nothing too, actually. I got given the turbo by someone, and I used the same carburetor on it, and it was actually quite successful. I managed to generate about 8 pounds of boost out of it, and God, that thing it went like a rocket. It was so fun to drive. But it had its issues. Mainly I used what I thought was a carbon sealed turbo, but it wasn't. So look, we've come at it again, and I'm just going to turn you around and show you where we're at. So this is of course the 1641 that I built. It's now running the dual 34s. And after the last time I drove it, I think one of the jets is blocked in one of those carbs, and I actually just yanked that motor and changed it for the 1776 that I'd built, which is running really great in the rat trap at the moment. However, I want to get this thing back to turbo. I really want to. This is the original turbo, or the second turbo setup I built, which was running pretty good. It actually worked. The concept was good. Nice little turbo. The carb is a S&S Shorty copy, you know, eBay cheap thing. But that carb, even though it was on a list of carbs I had that was a carbon seal, it's not a carbon seal, and you can tell immediately once you look in it. Let's see if we can get into that exhaust. You can just see how sooty it is, and it's like you can actually see oil in there. So it's leaking oil past the seal. But once I'd felt that engine running, I really, really wanted to have another crack at it. So after a little while, I bought this turbo. So this is a carbon sealed turbo. This is a Garrett, what's this one? It is a Garrett, I have to go back and look through it. It's a T28 Garrett. And it's like meant to be the good carb for this engine. However, I don't know, I didn't look closely enough at it when I bought it, and I don't know if you can see in there, but it's got a fair bit of, you can't really see it, but it's got, you know, that much shaft play, which is, look, I could probably build it. It'd probably work. It'd probably run, but God, I just got to a point where I'm sick of building this thing, pulling it in and out. So what I did was I just randomly happened to chat to a guy who had this sitting in his garage. Which, you know, I got off him for a reasonable price, and this is the low bucket turbo setup. This is the T3 turbo. Look, it may be a little large for this motor, but I think it's going to be okay. It has a cam in it. It's got the big valves and whatnot, so I think it's going to be okay with the Holley 2-barrel. The 350 Holley 2-barrel. There's the Holley Performance. So it actually is a genuine Holley. I thought it was a rip-off, but it's not. It's a genuine Holley. And you know, it comes with all the oil drains and the, you know, to the fuel pump block out and all that kind of stuff. And I just figured, look, if I'm going to build this thing, let's try and do it right this time. So I've just got to bolt these carbies off. We've got to try and figure out, I'm going to unbolt all this jazz. We're going to try and figure out how to make it fit the best in there. I haven't really come to it yet. Obviously it's got to drain down to the fuel pump, so it means the turbo needs to sit higher than the fuel pump. Let's just get into it and have a look, eh? Well, I wasn't going to pull all the tinware off, but I remembered now that last time I was plagued with manifold leaks in the previous engine I was building, so I glued these things in. I'm using a bit of, it's like a fuel-resistant silicone. And I know you're not meant to, but I was just so sick of having these manifold leaks. Anyway, so I've got to actually try and scrape that off without scoring the heads at all. Anyway, that's that. I'll just get cracking on it and see if we can clean them up a bit. Righto fellas, well that's stage 1 of the operation done, or maybe even stage 2 if you want to count stages. So what we've done is removed these carbs. They're the Weber 34s, twin 34s. So we've pulled them off. They may go on another project. We'll just see what happens. If anyone wants a set of Webers, hey, let me know. The other thing we've done is, I'll just flip you around. We've put back on the stock dual port manifolds, but the tricky little thing we got here, this thing was just a score that came with the Baja when I bought it. This is the Dino manifold. Now, I don't know if they're available. I don't think they are anymore, but they're just a nice kind of open manifold. And then I had this little adapter-uni made up to basically bolt the turbo to. So I've just got to now, do stuff to make this thing kind of look. At the end of the day, let's see if I can do this with one hand. At the end of the day, we just need that. Ooh, where are you? That. There, come back out here. To kind of shoot down in there like I had it previously. I mean that, it's almost there. I've just got to change the flange on the exhaust there. That's a 4 flange. I've got some other weird kind of Subaru flange. Put a little adapter-uni into there. Bolt that onto there. Bit of a different hose there. And of course, then bolt up the carb. So that's going to do me for today. Stay tuned if you want to watch this thing take shape. Look, it's only not a lot to do. Literally, the modifying the exhaust is probably the little bit of the trickiest thing. But I've done that about 5 times, so how long can it take? Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned and I'll catch up with you.